Welcome back to the show. It is so good to have you, our listener, here with us today.
Yeah, we're so glad you could join us.
We are pulling you right into a deep dive today that feels, incredibly universal, but also deeply intimate at the same time.
It really is.
You know that moment in a classic movie like The Wizard of Oz, where the screen transitions from that stark, flat black and white into this sudden, overwhelming color?
Oh, yeah, it's such a massive visual shock.
Right. And if you think about the mechanics of how we watch a movie like that, your brain actually gets used to the gray, like you habituate to it.
You really do.
After 20 minutes of sepia tones, you genuinely forget that color even exists as a possibility. Your brain just, stops looking for it.
Exactly.
And then suddenly a door opens and everything is drenched in Technicolor. The contrast almost makes your eyes water.
What's fascinating here is that this kind of sensory shift, it doesn't just happen in cinema. It is a very real psychological phenomenon.
Oh, for sure.
Today, we're looking at two beautifully translated sets of Thai lyrics. One is titled The Season Flowers Bloom Again, and the other is The Season the Flowers Bloom.
Beautiful titles.
Yeah, and they both share this incredibly resonant core narrative. Our mission today is to map the anatomy of an emotional awakening.
Which is such a cool concept to dig into.
Right, we are looking at the exact microscopic process of how finding love, or even just witnessing it from afar, restores hope and personal dreams for someone who had completely given up on them.
Yeah, someone who had just checked out.
Exactly. And the crucial detail in these sources is that this isn't some grand cinematic rescue. There are no burning buildings or dramatic speeches in the rain.
Right, no grand gestures.
It's a quiet, profound exploration of how a broken spirit is rebuilt through the most microscopic, effortless gestures of another person.
Okay, so we have to start at the beginning of that journey, which means we have to look at the baseline. Before we can understand how the color comes back, we have to examine the gray.
The starting point.
Yeah. The speaker in these lyrics establishes a very specific, heavy reality. They describe themselves right out of the gate as just an ordinary person who is simply, living day to day.
Just surviving.
Exactly. The lyrics say their heart has been still for too long, to the point where they had almost forgot what having a dream feels like.
That is such a heavy line.
It really is.
Mm.
Okay, let's unpack this. Why does the source emphasize this day-to-day survival mode? It's not like a huge traumatic event they're describing.
Right.
It's just an unbearable flatness.
Mm-hmm.
Is it possible that this profound numbness is exactly what creates the blank canvas necessary for such a powerful emotional reawakening?
That flatness is actually a recognized psychological state. It's not acute trauma in the sense of sudden shock to the system, but rather a grinding, quiet fatigue.
Like wearing down over time.
Yes. The lyrics explicitly talk about a yield that makes the heart tired. In psychology, we talk about something called allostatic load.
Allostatic load?
Yeah, it's the wear and tear on the body and mind from chronic low-grade stress. When your nervous system is constantly carrying that load, just navigating the friction of daily life, it goes into energy conservation mode.
Oh, wow. So it just powers down.
It literally shuts down the neural pathways required for future casting, for imagination, and for hope. That is why it matters so deeply that the speaker views themselves as just anyone.
Because they feel completely unremarkable.
Exactly. When you perceive yourself as merely an ordinary person living day to day, you are admitting a complete lack of main character energy or romantic vision in your own life.
You're just on autopilot.
Right. Dreaming requires a fundamental belief that the future can look different from the present. When you are exhausted, your brain convinces you the future will just be more of the tiring present.
Reading through these lyrics, I kept visualizing an analogy for that still heart. It feels like an engine that has been idling in neutral for years.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, like it's making a ton of noise. It's vibrating. It's burning up all this fuel just to keep running. You're doing all the things you need to do to stay alive, making noise, burning fuel, but going absolutely nowhere.
The gears just aren't catching.
Exactly. There is no forward momentum. But back to my question about this absolute zero state. Is that numbness required for the awakening?
Yes, that touches on the concept of emotional contrast. When you have expected nothing from the world for so long, your emotional baseline flattens out to protect you.
So you don't get disappointed.
Precisely. A system running in neutral is highly sensitive to any sudden engagement of the gears. The numbness is the contrast that makes the warmth feel miraculous.
That makes so much sense.
So when an entirely new variable enters that closed system, it doesn't just add to the environment, it shatters the loop entirely.
Which brings us to the variable itself. the catalyst for this change. Because the cure for this deep emotional winter in the lyrics wasn't a roaring fire.
No, not at all.
It wasn't someone crashing into the speaker's life, shaking them by the shoulders, and demanding they look at the beauty of the world.
Force is actually the worst possible strategy for a nervous system stuck in survival mode.
Right, because it just feels like more work.
Exactly. If someone aggressively tries to pull you out of numbness, your brain interprets that as a demand, another exhausting task on top of a world that is already asking too much of you.
And the lyrics reflect that perfectly. The new person enters the speaker's life like a gentle breeze.
The gentle breeze.
Yeah. The absolute catalyst for the world becoming warmer is simply the person just being you. The speaker says the mere sight of this person makes ordinary days look gentler and brings light back to a quiet heart.
It's beautiful.
And the lyrics emphasize that the person didn't try at all.
The absence of trying is the magic here. There is a stark contrast established between the heavy, tiring world and the effortless nature of this person's presence. We can look at this through the lens of nervous system co-regulation. Simple acts, like just existing and being true to oneself, actually rebuild a broken spirit far more effectively than forced attempts to fix someone.
Because fixing implies they're broken.
Exactly. When someone simply exists warmly beside you, they are passively inviting you to share their warmth without demanding any energy from you.
Here's where it gets really interesting. If this new person isn't even trying, does that make the romantic awakening more about the speaker's internal shift rather than the actions of the beloved?
Oh, absolutely.
Like, I keep thinking about the way the sun warms up a cold room. The sun isn't, trying to warm the room, it's just shining.
That's a great way to put it.
But the room transforms completely anyway. The sun is just being the sun.
The sun analogy captures it perfectly. The beloved is the catalyst, but the transformation is happening entirely internally. The person is just providing the environmental safety required for the speaker to lower their defenses.
Yeah, that makes ordinary days look gentler.
Right. It doesn't claim every day is a thrilling adventure. The world hasn't stopped being demanding, but the speaker's interpretation of those demands has softened.
So we've broken the ice. The engine is finally slipping into gear. Let's look at what actually begins to grow in that newly warmed soil.
The return of the dreams.
Yeah. What does it look like when the capacity to dream returns? The lyrics are incredibly specific here. The speaker thanks the person for being a force for small dreams.
Small dreams. I love that.
And the simple smile is cited as the specific thing that comforts the heart. They even say that just knowing this person exists in the world is beautiful enough.
The scale of desire has fundamentally changed. The speaker isn't suddenly dreaming of conquering the world. They're dreaming small dreams.
Because a big dream would be too much pressure.
Exactly. When you are emerging from a state of deep numbness, a massive dream is too heavy to carry. I want you, the listener, to really consider this.
It's a profound shift.
It is. Acknowledging the simple joy of someone's existence in the world is the ultimate hallmark of a romantic dreamer's renewed worldview. It is a reset of what brings you joy.
So what does this all mean? I want to push back slightly on this concept of just knowing you exist is enough.
Okay, let's hear it.
Is this a sign of profound contentment? Or is it a defense mechanism from someone who is still afraid to ask for too much after being numb for so long?
That is a really valid question. It's entirely possible that fear is mixed in there. A nervous system just beginning to thaw is going to be highly protective.
Right, because asking for more means risking rejection.
Exactly, which could trigger a return to that winter. However, looking at the pure romantic framework these lyrics build, we can also see this as a triumph of unconditional appreciation.
Just appreciating them for being there.
Right, they don't need to possess them. It's a shift from a scarcity mindset to an abundance mindset.
It's kind of like finding a forgotten, treasured photograph tucked inside an old book.
Oh, I love that imagery.
It's a tiny, simple thing, right? A piece of paper. But you find it, and it completely derails a mundane day with a rush of emotion.
Yes, exactly.
These are the micro joys the lyrics are talking about. Just feeling something for someone again feels like a dream in itself.
Those micro joys provide a focal point. When the world is exhausting, your attention is fractured. This person's gentle disposition provides a safe anchor.
It reminds them that beauty is still accessible.
Right. The brain starts rewiring itself to look for the good again.
Which brings us to the bridge of the lyrics, the final realization that synthesizes this entire arc. The speaker, introduces the bittersweet beauty of being an unknowing savior.
The unknowing light.
Yes, the lyrics reveal that the person might not even know they are a small light in someone's life. The core metaphor here is that meeting them is like a silent season that slowly has flowers returning.
It's such a striking visual.
And the final gratitude is thanking them for stepping into their small world and making an ordinary person believe in the beauty of feelings again.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, this final thought cements the romantic dreamer's perspective.
Also,
Well, the true gift wasn't just companionship, it was the restoration of belief. The speaker is profoundly grateful just to have their capacity to feel resurrected.
I have to ask you to reflect on the tragedy and beauty of that unknowing light. How often are we the blooming flowers in someone's silent season without ever realizing it?
That speaks to the invisible threads that connect human beings. We're constantly impacting each other's emotional ecosystems.
Without even trying.
Right. You might hold a door or smile warmly and completely alter the trajectory of someone's internal winter, and you will go home never knowing you did it.
Wow. The scale of that is almost overwhelming to think about.
It really is.
We've traced such an incredible journey today. From a heart that had forgotten how to dream, trapped in an exhausting world, to a spirit completely revitalized.
Revitalized by the effortless, gentle presence of someone just being themselves.
Exactly. The seasons changed from a silent, still winter to a blooming spring of small dreams. So, for you listening right now, I want you to think about the people in your own life.
The gentle breezes.
Yeah. Who are the gentle breezes that make your ordinary days feel a little less heavy? And more importantly, whose world might you be warming up just by being in it?
I want to leave you with one last thing to ponder.
Go for it.
If someone's mere effortless existence can unknowingly pull another person out of a lifelong emotional winter and teach them to dream again, what does that say about the immense invisible power we hold over each other every single day, just by walking through the world with a gentle smile?